We're going to dive right into it. This is session 4 of part 3 of Reimagine Leadership Webinars. The session today is about how to get buy-in from different members on key projects. And when I was looking through the registration, one of the people had actually asked what we mean by buy-in. They didn't realize that we had used a word, a word that was big. So just so that we are all on the same page, I think I'll keep repeating it before we start the different segments. What we mean by buy-in, I went and Googled, and this gave me a very nice definition. Buy-in is acceptance and willingness to actively support and participate in something. So when we are saying how to get buy-in, we are saying how to get that acceptance and to get people to be willing to actively support you and your agenda and whatever it is, your ideas on key projects. That is what we mean, so that we have like a common definition. We all know what we are talking about. So the first person who's going to speak is the smart gentleman in a blue suit, and I don't know what color. I think it's maroon, whatever the color is. I'm going to invite Jose, our global representative, who has worked in how many countries? Okay, 3 continents. Let me just say 3 continents. That's all that I can say. He's a person who is passionate about teams, about team leaders, and about making sure that when people enjoy going to work on Monday, that people look forward to Monday. So he is that kind of person. So I invite Jose to be the first one to present. We'll have a Q&A at the end. So we're each going to have like 10 minutes. You're welcome, Jose. You can welcome him with claps or whatever it is that you want. 10 minutes, Jose.
Thank you. Do the 10 minutes include enough time for me to describe the color? Is it
okay, 12 minutes. 12 minutes. You have 2 minutes to describe the color. It's not maroon, it's burgundy. For us, we know maroon. Even be happy I didn't say red.
Burgundy. Whichever school you went to that pronounce it differently. But anyway, thank you. It's good to see every one of us here. Thank you for showing up. There are people that their faces that are consistent. Thank you. New faces. Each of you we don't take any of you for granted. We're really glad whenever we see people coming back, but it also tells us that what we are sharing is helpful, and it resonates with you, and you want to keep hearing more. I'll just delve into it considering the time I have and the stuff that we have to talk about. Maybe I'll just talk about 2 things. One will be broad, the other will just be for the people who are a bit shy, or you want to talk to your boss or something like that. Like we said, we're just talking about how to get buy-in. You have this awesome idea, also you think, and you want to get others on board so that the idea can take off. Of course, many of us have had ideas during the course of our employment or something like that, or with colleagues. And in your idea, in your mind, it's a very brilliant idea. And then you share with people and you're not getting excited. They are not jumping on board. You're like, what's wrong with these people? Why can't they see what I am seeing? What's wrong with them? But we want today to just talk about how you can actually get people to see what you are seeing. Because if they can see what you are seeing, then maybe it would be easier for them to jump in, because sometimes you have an idea, but not everyone can see it that way. And so some people rubbish it, some people think you're overzealous, or you are, but this happens in our day-to-day work. And so if you are employed or if you are leading a team, this is going to be really key, because there are things that we have on our hearts. There are ideas. You look around the company and you think, if we could do this, I think the company would work better. But how do you introduce that and cause everyone else to see the same thing and run in that direction? And I will start with the obvious. The obvious is know what it is you want to introduce. We all have these ideas. It is until we distill them properly that people can read what we have in our minds. So know what it is exactly, and not just a vague idea, but to the detail, so that when you explain it to someone, they can clearly see what it is you are saying. People are not mind readers. Even if you have stayed with someone and worked with someone for a long time, don't think by sharing 1 or 2 lines they will catch the picture. It is your duty to make sure they catch the picture. So write as much as you can. Write the thing down. Don't even just write the idea. Take time and research, because remember, you're going to sell this thing to someone. So research as much as you can. Do as much groundwork as you can concerning this thing, so that when you stand to talk, you are not just, it's not an idea, it's something that you are confident in. And let me tell you, people see confidence. People see confidence. People can know when you are selling them something confidently, and people can know when you are selling them something and it's just an idea and you're not sure how it will work. That's why someone is able to look at you in the desert and sell you a bridge when there is no water to cross, because of the confidence that they have. They can make you see something and you know, hey, I need this bridge. So you need to, whatever the idea is, don't let it stop at a good idea. Distill it. Write that thing. Do as much groundwork as you can. And as you're doing the groundwork, don't just take the idea in isolation. Take the idea into the vision of the company. Because if it's just an isolated idea, it's a good idea. But when it enters the vision of the company, then you have the attention of the powers that be in that company. You have the attention of the movers and shakers of the company, because they see how that idea will enhance the organization and how it will make sure they are able to accomplish what it is that they want to do. So don't just reverse, don't just prepare the idea in isolation. Think about the vision of the company. What is this company trying to achieve? And therefore, how can this idea feed into that? How can this idea make it easier for the company to achieve this thing? How can this idea make it possible for the company to achieve this thing? That way, even the shareholders, even the directors will take the idea seriously, because it's not just a brilliant idea. It is now an idea to help the company actually achieve its goals. So find a way of tying that idea into the vision of the company or into the vision of the organization. Then people know, oh, okay, this person is thinking long term. This is something we can actually get behind, every one of us. It ceases to even just become your idea. It now becomes the idea of the top manager. It becomes the idea, because now they see this is something that is actually going to get the company moving forward. Already you have the powers that be on board. And if the powers that be are on board, then everyone else below would definitely have to get on board. But so tie this idea into the vision. And then also, as you prepare, have timelines. I can come to you and say, to the director and say, I see as a company, this is what we are trying to do. And I have thought about this that can help us to get there. That's a good thing. But I can go ahead and say, and as I've been working out this thing, and I think this is how long it will take us to begin to see results. Now I really have your attention. I moved from just a vague idea to actually the feasibility of this thing. I have your attention, because I said, now I think if we implement ABCD, we can do the groundwork in, let's say, 2 or 3 or 5 months, and then within 6 months we can begin to see these results. It's no longer an idea now; it's now an implementable, feasible thing. It has just moved from simply an idea. So have a rough. You cannot get the exact time frame, but at least have an idea of how long it will take. When you roll it out, it might take a bit longer. It might take shorter, but at least the thing is to get people on board for you to start. As you start, it might be smooth, or it might be a bit of hiccups, but at least there is an idea to where you are going. So have a time frame related to this thing. And then if you are getting it to your teammates or even your manager, because some people like to have their ego stroked before they can say yes. So I have my idea. I know how it fits into the vision. I know how long it would take us. If I am talking to the managing director or managing partner, I will say, by the way, this is what I'm thinking, but I know that your input in this thing is really important. I know you are excellent here and here, and if we can, I'm bringing you in. I'm showing it's not my idea. I'm showing you that I really need you to. And people like, there's something, people like being needed. I don't know why. People like being needed. People like their ideas taken. People like to be consulted. So I am leaving room for you to know that this is not just something I want to do by myself. No, I'm bringing it to you, and I know there is valuable input that you can put in this thing. So it's not a finished product and it's an idea. I've taken all the I've done the research I can, but I need your input in this to make this thing work. So right from the get-go, I'm buying you in you. It ceases to be my thing. It now becomes our thing. It becomes our thing. That so longer my thing. You have input to make. The managing director is nodding yes when you tell him, sir, you are excellent in this regard. I think you add. He's like, yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, I think you write it and let me know how. If now you have his attention. And it's the same for your teammates. If you move it from the managing director and now with your teammates, you tell each of them one by one. You might need to have one by one meetings and say, I was talking to the managing director about this thing and it seems to work. But you are very good in this matter. We will need you in this thing. That way you are getting buy-in. You are getting buy-in just by showing people how they fit into what it is they bring, the value. People love to feel valued. That's when they can be part of something. Not just as Kayola, but sometimes there are signposts, and then on the billboard you say there's this conference happening. There is this person. The picture is here. There is this person picture, and the others. People don't like to be among the others. They want to be featured. So you show them how they are going to feature in the main project. I can assure you, people will be excited. There's a sense of excitement that begins to grow. A sense of, excitement and joy that begins to grow. And people now begin to say, this is our thing. This is our thing. And then also, just two more things, maybe as I conclude, because of time. As you are discussing with, let's say, the managing partner or the director, because they know there is additional work that you are doing, your day-to-day work, you need to show how this will either enhance your day-to-day work or how it will not impact your day-to-day work negatively, how you are still going to be able to do your work and still be able to do this, because employers are always, they always calculate your time. Yes, you have this idea, but you also have this task. How will you manage the two? But if I show you that this idea is going to enhance the task in this way, or if I show you that I've thought of these things and this is how I am going to run the two things concurrently, you can be like, okay, not so bad. Try it and let's see. Already now you have permission, you have buy-in in that regard. This is the last one I will end with. If you are a silent, a quiet person, you don't know how to talk to people, or if you're selling this thing to your manager, a director, and you're not sure how they will react, the easiest thing for me is send them an email and say, just give them a knock on their door and say, I've been thinking of something concerning the company, and there's an idea I have. I just want to share it with you and just get your input in this matter. I'll be sending you an email, and maybe after you have read, we can meet on Friday, and so that you can, if you have any questions or discussions, already I've said for you that I've let you know there's something coming, and I've set a date when we can return to it. And so that I'll let you know that I'll send the email to maybe 30 minutes from now, so you're waiting for the email. And so because I have written this thing out and shown you the vision, how you are part of it, how you read it, and then I've already set a date when we can come back to it. So we can, on that day I come back. And shy people, it's not easy for them to talk about the ideas, but they are good with answering questions. That's what I've realized. People who are a bit quiet, when you begin to ask them about things that they know, suddenly they can now respond. They're not good at initiating, but they're good at responding. So because your boss has read the thing, they now have questions, and the you that has researched and thought about these things will now begin to come out. So if you're quiet, that's a good way. Knock on the person's door, let them know you are sending them something that can help in the company, set them a date when you will come back and when you'll be available to have the discussion, and that way it will be easier for you to get your idea. And I think we're out of time. I will just stop at that.
Guys, please clap for Jose. As in, I do not. I'm even clapping physically. Let me look for the signs. He has just shared. I feel like, okay, Dina needs to share also. That one we accept. But this has been like, it's like a masterclass. As in, it's like a real masterclass. He has given you. If you can write down these things and follow them, that is it. By the way, that is it. Jose, amazing. You tried in 10 minutes. Good trial, but this is awesome. Awesome. Next, we are going to go to dinner. Again, we are talking about how to get buy-in from different members on key projects. And just to define buy-in is to get acceptance and willingness to actively support you, to support your ideas in those different projects. That's what we mean by buy-in, just so that we are all on the same page. So now I invite Dina. She reduced all of her titles: chemical and process engineer, star hero, SDGs goals ambassador, to your growth partner. That makes it so much easier for me. She is a growth partner for young professionals and for new and fresh graduates. If that's where you are, you need Dina. You need Dina in your corner, you need her guidance, you need her mentorship. So I hand over to you, Madam of many titles that has reduced to your growth partner.
Wow. Thank you so much, Coach Jennifer. Thank you for honoring me. Thank you so much, Jose. So for those who were here earlier, you might have heard Coach Jennifer asking, who should go first? I am now thinking, why did I refuse to go first? Because the global team leader just came and gave all my answers. But hey, thank you. Thank you, Jose. That was, I was just like, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for honoring our invitation. Whichever way you heard about this webinar, thank you for making the time to join us. Thank you so much. It's part 4 of a 5-part series. So we have just one more part next week on Tuesday. Those who have made it a personal date to be here with us every Tuesday at this time, we honor you. We are humbled by your presence. Thank you. And we are talking about buy-in. Before I even say anything else, I want to emphasize a critical point that Jose made, especially like you heard Coach Jennifer. I am here for the emerging leaders. I'm here for the fresh graduates. You are in your first few years, you're wondering what's up, and you're just navigating the whole thing. And this is what I have to say. When you are not the boss, your leverage is in connecting the dots between your idea and the boss's goals. If you can connect your idea to the goals that the boss has, you will get buy-in. Jose already said that, and I just thought I would really emphasize it because that's where your leverage is. You're not the decision maker. You don't have the final say. Maybe you don't even have the title that can give you the power to make a decision. But the only way you are going to influence the seniors is if you can connect your ideas to their goals. That's it. So for me, when I think about buy-in, I'm like, Coach Jennifer has read for us the definition. You want to get support for your ideas, active support and participation. That's why you should underline active support and participation. Because first of all, most likely you're not the budget owner. You're not the approver. Maybe you are not even the head of procurement or whatever, but you need something done. So you want that active support and participation. And I'm thinking buy-in is not just getting people to agree. It's getting ownership for your idea. If people do not see themselves in the work, if they don't see themselves in your idea, they will definitely not support it. And I'll just share just 2 things. The first thing, again, is something Jose touched. Involve early and involve often. I've seen the most resistance to people's ideas comes because you want to share the final idea. You want to come and say, guys, I have this idea. We're going to do this. People will critique the thing. They will just run you down, make you see all the negative things about it, and water down all your effort. But if you involve them early in the process of building, like people will criticize the idea, but they will support something that they helped build. If they helped build the idea, like from the onset, you have these brilliant ideas, maybe you've researched them, you've even put down a structure of some sort, but whether it's with your colleagues where you are on the same level, or even if it's with your manager, or if you're the team leader, the people that you lead, if you can involve them early, ask them, how can we make this work? How can we improve this? What can we add here? If they're involved in the building of the thing, they'll get that ownership and they will support it. But if you're just always sharing final ideas, they'll critique it. That's rest assured. And I think for me, the second thing is really to build relational capital. You have to, because people buy into what they trust. They buy into who they trust. Whether you are a senior or you are a junior, you have to build relational capital. You cannot put away relationships when you are, presenting your ideas and all of that. So you don't just wake up and boom, you throw something at someone. You have to have been cultivating a sort of relationship with the people that you work with your team members, with your team leaders, or even the people that you're leading if you are the team leader. And I'm saying here that you can't expect, in fact, let me read it as is. Like, you can't skip relationship and expect cooperation. You can't. Those two, they have to go hand in hand. Before you ask for support, you have to ask for perspective. That's how now you're building a relationship with these people. You ask their perspective on this matter. You ask what they think. You cultivate like a working relationship so that now when the time comes that you have to present your idea, it's like you already, first of all, you've laid a platform for yourself to speak. And this is also important if you're the type that Jose was talking about, that you are shy, you're not so build ahead, cultivate that kind of relationship so that when you bring your idea, you're having another conversation with these people or with this person specifically. And I think for me, those are like the two things I want to emphasize. Sigenda na kubira ako. Okay, Luganda. I will not take so much time on these things because I know that the global team leader already mentioned, but I just wanted to emphasize them. And then I think finally for me is you must frame a win-win. Like, people want to see how they're benefiting from this thing. What does it have to do with them? You remember that thing they said, again, Jose mentioned that people like to feel needed. Yeah. I've had it. And if you, in the marketplace, I know you probably also had it. Someone sits there quietly. They watch you running with your idea, what, and they're waiting for when you're going to bring it to their table so that they can refuse. They've already decided in their minds that they're going to refuse it. Why? Because you've not sought their opinion on the way. You didn't think it necessary to involve them. And they would just refuse for that one simple reason. Not because your idea is terrible, not because your idea cannot work, but for that simple reason. They'll just be adamant and be like, Sichirim. So frame a win-win for these people. Show them how they contribute. Show them how it's mutually beneficial, not just for you. And it's for the whole team. The ideas that get banned the most are those that appear selfish. You look like you're pushing your own agenda. People don't see how it's for them also. They don't see how it's for the team. They don't see how it's for the organizational goals. They don't see who else is benefiting from it except you. So frame a win-win. Show people how they contribute. That's number one. But also what's in it, either for the organization or for them as individuals. If, let's say, you have a project idea and I have the idea, I have the expertise, but I don't have the money. I need the person who has the money to buy in and invest. It can even not, it may not necessarily be at work. It could be your own personal projects. You have the idea, you have all this brilliance, but you don't have the working capital. You need the person who has the capital to partner with you on this agenda. Show them the numbers, show them how they're benefiting from this, and you get your idea supported. I think for me, those are the things. Again, involve early and involve often, build relational capital, and show the win-win. That's it for me. Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, Coach Jennifer.
Today I have clapped with my hands and I've forgotten to do the to do the effects. We are now going to go into like some interactive here. Dina, thank you so much for sharing the way you started connect the dots between your idea and the boss's goals. I think that one is key, especially if you're way down there. No one knows you. You don't have a title. But that is how I ended up speaking on behalf of the boss when I had no title, as in I became like an executive director, commanding things. I was there, officer, down. Yeah, I was like even almost not above, but it's like, yeah, I still respected that. It's like because my idea or whatever I was doing was pushing their goal, they just ceded authority to me. So I think that one is key. And what Jose said, making people feel needed. When they can see themselves in your idea or see themselves in your work, the authority they will give you is just so amazing. So thank you so much for emphasizing. This is especially for those of you who are still way down there. This is how you get noticed. This is how you get noticed. So now we are going to go. My part is going to be mainly interactive. I hope that you have pens and books. Do you have? Thumbs up. If you don't have, get a paper. You're going to write on your hands. Deborah, hi. I hadn't seen Deborah. I was wondering where she was. I've noticed that you've come. Okay? Because what I want you to do, at times when we go from, and we're also going to do a Q&A, so I won't do this like within 10 minutes. I may even time myself. At times when we go from home to work, at times we forget the skills that we use to get buy-in, because effectively buy-in is just selling. Effectively, it is just sales. That is what you're doing. And we all have sold, as in we all have sold, even your 2-year-old niece or daughter or whatever, they sell you. There's a way that they get buy-in from you to support them and to give them stuff. So what I want us to do is to investigate the way that we do it. So that's the practical stuff that we are going to do. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. We'll have a discussion, and then from that, perhaps you'll ask questions, and then we'll see how to answer them. We still have 28 minutes. So the first question that I want you to answer is, how are you usually convinced to support and to accept stuff? When you look at yourself, how is it the things that you support, how do you usually get convinced, you as a person? I'm going to ask like 3 questions before we start discussing. At times we don't even know, but the thing is, how are you usually convinced to support and to accept stuff? Jose has finished. Hey, Mama. You're clever. The second question, what could you never support? Even if a person does what, you could never, ever support it. You as a person. And this is not just work. This is just you as a person. And then the third, I'm using Jose as my indicator because he's a very quick student. The third question is, I want you to think about a time when you convinced someone who you thought was not going to give you support, to give you support. Think about that time when you actually got someone to support you. What did you do? How did you do it? Think about like the 3-4 things that you did. How did you do it? From the idea that I need to get support from this person for this idea, to how you went and spoke to them, how did you do it? And again, it's not just work. It might be home, it might be a parent, it might be an uncle, it might be a priest or an imam, I don't know. How did you do it and what did you do? Jose, you're too fast. Are you thinking or you finished? Jose, you finished? those students who would hand in their papers. Okay. 30 minutes to the end of the exam. Dina, have you finished or you're still thinking?
I have not finished. Jose is just oppressing us.
Yes. He's boasting. So I'm giving you like 10 more seconds and then we'll have a brief discussion. Then I'll share what I'm sharing. Then we'll go to a Q&A because I'm sure then you'll have like some questions to ask.
Dina, I even want more paper.
We shall not be moved.
Okay, so I want us to just discuss for the first, I'm going to ask Jose and Dina and then maybe one or two of you. For the first question, how are you usually convinced to support and accept staff? Jose, Dina, and then one or two of you can share.
I think if I see there's a gap that I can fit in, that my skills can help. That's how you can get me. If I see where I can help for the greater cause, as long as you appeal to where I can help, I'm in.
Awesome. Dina? You're muted. Dina doesn't know. Okay. Does anyone want to share? I'm just going to call because we all did this homework. So, Jane, how are you usually convinced to support and accept staff?
Well, for me, like Jose, is if my skill set fits and also if it's something exciting. I like doing tasks that are a bit exciting for me, not something that I'll feel, why am I even doing this? But also the excitement part of it.
Okay. Joshua, you've put up your hand. Thank you, Jane. Joshua, how are you usually convinced to support and accept staff?
For me, I easily get convinced to support a cause or an idea if I understand how the whole process is operating. It's very easy for me to.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Barbara has said when the information is fully broken down, I agree. I want you to note something because when I'm sharing, I'm going to come back to this. Emmanuel, you're going to answer the next question. You're going to be the first one to answer the next question. What could you never support? Emmanuel.
Why the next one? I wanted to answer the first.
Okay, answer the first and the next. So answer how are you usually convinced to support and accept staff and the next. Emmanuel? Is he there? Uh-oh.
Second one was about
what could you never support?
Okay. Let me get right to it. So what for me, what I would never support is individuals who are self-entitled.
Wow.
Who have that element of self-entitlement, but also they are dishonest. Wow. And also they're exploitative. I don't really, I can never support that because we believe in equality. So you can't just be entitled yourself to certain benefits or, something like that. So it doesn't really, I don't support that. And a person who is dishonest, no, I don't.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
And for the first question, really, I don't accept. We support staff who demonstrate deep alignment with the values of the company.
Wow.
And we're always looking for people who are not just looking for jobs, but individuals who are mission driven, but also purpose driven and ready to grow with us. Because if you're job seeking, which means you can come work for us or with us for a certain period of time, when a bigger juicier offer comes, you just jump ship. So for us, we support people who align with our values, but also are mission driven and purpose driven as well.
Okay. Emmanuel, do you value people?
Absolutely. Why?
No, I'm seeing how to convince you. Anyone, if you want to convince Emmanuel, be a people-oriented person. As in those, I think those are the tricks that I want people to begin to see. Because there's a way how you know what the leader leans towards. It's all right. I'll use it as in when I'm going to the next segment. Barbara has been sharing. She said, I could never support ideas against my values. I think it's the same for Joshua. I can never support dirty deals or anything that is not done in truth. Wow. He even said no, as in he jumped. So the next one, Dina, you're going to share. Think about a time that you convinced someone who was difficult, who you thought you couldn't convince, and they actually got them to support you. How did you do it? What did you do?
Okay, I was thinking about which time to share, but the time I've chosen to share, I really laid the stakes on the table for them. It was me who needed what I was asking for. And it was not even at all their problem. It was their problem because it would require me to be maybe away from work. But I laid the stakes, what it meant for me if they don't let me, what and I got them to be like, go.
Okay, awesome. Barbara, can you share? Barbara, you're going to share. You're going to talk. I want you to talk. Thank you very much for shortcutting us. I want you to talk.
All right.
Barbara,
Yeah, so basically I had to tweak my mindset to think that they would actually accept what I wanted to tell them. And then approaching them when I'm very positive, quite being excited and energetic when explaining. So I find that to often work.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. I think the thing that I want you to see, and when you look at your answers, I want you to see one that you can also, people also need to convince you that there are things that you would never ever accept and that you've also done some convincing. So I want you to begin to lean into the ways that you did it, to begin to learn how to use that when you're doing stuff at work, because there are things that you did. Dina said she prepared, as in she laid out the stakes for her and I think also for them. Barbara, she prepared her mind. So there are things that you need to do in order to prepare yourself to go before these different people, and they're different. As you've seen Emmanuel, for him is people. There's someone else who is process, we've seen as in process. Jose is show me where it is that I am going to contribute, which is activity. What am I going to do? So different leaders need to be approached differently. But the thing is, you do that unconsciously, and when you come to work, it's like you sort of forget. Yes? So we're going to do like a little bit, like a short exercise. I've gone over my time, but please allow me like 5 minutes. Then we'll do like questions for the rest of the time. I want you to think of 2 or 3 people who you want to get buy-in from. 2 or 3 people who you currently want to get buy-in from. Just 2. Just write down their names, one this side and one that side of the paper. You can draw a line in the middle if you want. Then starting with what Jose said, what support do you want from them? Because at times we say we want support, but we don't know what support do you want? Do you need money? Do you need them to speak on your behalf? Do you need them to say yes? Do you need them to participate? Do you need them to okay your go ahead? Do you need resources? What support, exactly what support do you need from them? Now, since this is work, it's not home where you can just walk in. I want you, do you know what their best mode of communication and time of communication is? What is their best mode of communication? Do you know that? Yeah, because those are things that you need to do. If you want something from them, is it best to talk to them? Because I had like a director, if you wanted to get something out of him, 7 a.m., you had to come early after he has said his prayers. He would come early, say his prayers, and like 7 a.m., his daughter had gotten into the companies, as in the banks. So if you wanted to get anything from him, any side, 7 a.m., his mind is still free. So what is the best mode of communication? So for some, it is an email, then a follow-up. For some, it is a phone call. For some, you just walk in. So what is the best time and mode of communication? You need to understand that. And you understand that by developing relationship, what Dina said. So if you don't understand that, you need to find out. Because there are times when you walk in and you're going to have their full attention. So you need to know that. Now, the last thing that I'm going to ask is understanding what their primary interest is. So there's something that we call meta programs in NLP. I think Jane might know. They are primary ways that people relate to the world. People choose to relate to the world, things that they're interested in. And if you want to get their buy-in, you go at what they're interested in. There are 5 key interest areas, and we can choose any, but each of us has like a key area where if you come at me with that particular area, you will have my buy-in. So there are people who are interested in people. If you come at them and like, this is how it's going to help the people, how it's going to serve the people, like Emma, as in the mission, people, as long as you can tie the idea and the goal to people, you've got their buy-in. There are people who are interested in position and location. So they're the ones who are interested in how will it make me look. Promotion, how will it look, as in will it give him a push up in the organization? They're there and you have to accept. So it's the boss who wants to look good, who wants to look like his department is performing well. Those are the ones who are interested in position. If you come at them with people, okay, yes, they are happy, yes, Barbara. People, they are happy, fine, but they will not feel it too much. So you need to come at them with, how does this make them look? There are people who are interested in things. Yeah, this will help us to acquire the next piece of software. This will help us, as in these things, acquisition, things. You show them how this is going to help them either improve the management of things, the working of things, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So you go at them with things. How is that going to affect the acquisition, the management, the stuff, things? So those are a different kind of people. And there are people who are interested in information. What Barbara said, if you can break down the steps for me. So those ones, you need to break down the steps, the process, the information. You need to really break down the information to them. I think I'm information and people. If you come at me with things and promotion, by the way, I've even walked out of the room because I don't really care about that. So you have to come at me with information and people. But the thing is, you need to know that about people. So the people are interested in information. So the process, what you need to break it down for them. Then there are others who are interested in activity. So that is a little bit of Jose. Where do I come in? What do I do? What is my part? So when you look at these 2 people who you've listed, do you know what their primary interest is? Thumbs up or thumbs down? And by the way, it is not rocket science. Because what I want you to do is I want you to go back and see the way that you convinced, even go back to something like home. The way that you convince your mother to do something is not the way that you convince your father to do something, because you know they're interested in different things. So you just need to know, like, apply that when you come to work to understand, okay, what is it that I want from them? I want this. What is the best time? There's also a best time to contact your dad and your mom. There's a best time. You also know that. Don't go to daddy when he has just come back. Go to mommy after she has drunk tea. Not before she has drunk, after she has drunk tea. That is when you go. And then you know when you're talking to mommy, you need to talk about this and that and that. When talking to daddy, this, that, as in whoever it is. If you didn't have parents, the people who raised you. Yeah, so these are things that you need to find out. And Barbara, we're going to give you'll be able to ask your question. So I think it's just, and the way that you're going to do this, we're going to go back to even something we talked about in the other webinar, relationships. That's the way that you get to learn people's primary interests so that you know how to go at them. I think you all know this person. There's this person in the organization who is not very good at skills, but is the one who is always hanging around the big people. At times, even like the top boss. The guy is not skilled, but it's like he knows and understands what the bosses want. And he's the one who hangs, he even ends up getting a funny position that is forged for him and is earning more than you because he has understood what the various bosses want. And it's like it's not even that he's sucking up to them. It's just a gift that he has developed. It's that he has developed. So you're judging him with your master's and your PhD. He's there, but he's earning more than you right now. because he has understood the bosses, he knows what they need, he knows how to get to them and how to get their attention. So it's just for you to bring those skills from home, bring them to work, study your people, and then know, same idea, but this boss, I'm going to talk about people. This boss, I'm going to show him the information. This boss, I'm going to show him where he comes in. Yes, this boss, I'm going to show him how it's going to make him look in the organization, how it's going to position him. And the last one, maybe we're going to acquire something, that the most recent upgrade of the software or something of that sort. Same idea. But at times you need to approach the bosses differently. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. Question?
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Mine is a question, and I'm thinking about someone who wants a buy-in from someone they don't know. Because one of the things you've told us is think about what they like when you use the meta programs. What if it's someone, let's say like you, who doesn't know you, but they want maybe something from you? How would I know what you like, or how will I study your behavior? Because I believe that those who are maybe seeking for job opportunities, so how do they know what this person likes in order to get close to their heart and maybe get that opportunity that they're seeking?
As in primary interest. It's not so much what they like, it is the way that they prefer to relate to the world. I think, so the thing is, one, you could either make sure that you touch on all the various areas, make sure your presentation is all-rounded, but then also, there is a way that we usually do this at home. As you know, that at times when you want something from daddy or mommy or uncle, at times you go to the child who understands them. Haven't we all done that? To get some, as in, how did you do it? So at times it helps to talk to people. I think I've actually had people, you're going for an interview, you're going to maybe be interviewed as a middle manager or something. You have a sit down with someone who's in the organization to understand, how do I approach this? I think you've all heard of that, because I've actually heard about it. How do I approach this? As in, how do I go about this? There's the whole, how Emmanuel said, companies have their mission. So the people who are just tied to the mission and stuff, understanding that, but also just finding someone who knows the person and sitting down with them and saying, what is the best way to approach this? That could actually help. That stuff that we do at home also, of sending the last born to daddy to ask. Yes, we also apply that at work. Any other question? Was that, Jane, have you been answered?
Yes, that was clear. It reminds me of the other episode we had on relationships. So it's good to be well-rounded with your relationships.
Yes, Juliet.
I have something to say. Thank you very much to all our coaches. This is very, very insightful. Thank you for volunteering to improve us. Elsewhere, it's very much paid heavily that you've offered to us such a voluntary service to us. Thank you very much. We appreciate. I think by and large what I learned, and also from the book, I was reading How to Influence People, something like that. Never be caught selling, never be caught pitching, but never be caught, trying to, to sell, to convince someone to negotiate something. Don't be caught. I mean, it makes you a bad negotiator, makes you a bad pitcher. Okay, but whether that word even exists. Yeah, so because if we take that direction, we get ourselves into glorifying ourselves, but while ignoring or watering down what the other party has to offer to us. Sometimes we are too self-seeking. We get to seek ourselves more, and we lose out on the core idea of the entire negotiation or the entire transaction. Yeah, so I think the wisdom lies in the balancing, knowing that you are actually trying to seek buy-in and also not showing it. Yeah.
Yes, not being too salesy.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach Jennifer. Mine is a question and an inquiry based on how you've been having your buy-in, inviting people to buy your ideas and suggestions. My question is, how do you go about biases that come along in the process of convincing someone? You realize that the person is already biased towards some end and you really want to convince them to buy your idea. How do you usually go by it?
I'm going to give Jose and then Dina. one minute each, because we have like 3 minutes left.
Thank you, Coach. I was going to say Joy has been here the whole time and she hasn't responded. But anyway, I think it's just it's really to understand what the bias is and to address the bias rather than try and sidetrack, understand what the bias is. Why are they worried? Why are they anxious? Why are they not so sure? Why? Understand that and then address it. Because you can tiptoe around something thinking I will still convince him, but still the bias is there. So understand what the bias is, why it is there, and show how your idea addresses whatever the bias is.
Dina?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I think I will not differ so much from what Jose is saying. Usually, I like this, and I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, but for me, one of the things is something that we used to do back at home, or even now, if I'm going to, for those who have African mothers, you know this. When you're going to go to her with something, an idea, whatever it is, or something you just want to discuss with her, you do a lot of background work and you think ahead like 10 questions that she might ask. And then you construct the answers before you go, so that by the time she asks, you've counted ahead, you've thought ahead. So for the biases, I would think, first of all, when you're preparing, because you've had experiences with this person, you know that they're usually biased, maybe, or something. So you prepare yourself. First of all, they're usually biased in which direction? Is it that it doesn't speak to their interest? Is it that they just don't see how it fits their situation? And you construct answers, responses, or even strategy that kind of answers those biases ahead of time, so that when you get to talk to them, when you get to present the idea to them, and they bring out this attitude that you were already anticipating, then you know how to respond to it. That's what I think.
Thank you very much, Tina. This, as in relationship preliminary work, as in it's just, I think there is no way around that. there is no way around that. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here, for keeping time, and even for showing up. Vanessa says, thank you so much for this session. My biggest takeaway has been understanding how to approach a person and understand what it is that excites them. Also, timing is everything, because I think on some occasions my timing was not okay. Yes, my timing was not the best. I get that. I hope that you've taken away one key thing that you can do from this, because as I said, we are here not just to show that we have a webinar, but so that 10 years, 20 years from now, you can be like, in a webinar I attended, when your CEO and ED and the minister of something, you will remember that I was taught this or the other. So I'm going to allow Jose to close out, but before, we have a masterclass that we're going to have around this topic. The masterclass is about how to influence stakeholders at every level, how to influence your peers, how to influence the people above you, and how to influence the people below you. I'm going to share the information via email. It has a cost, about 100,000. So I'm going to share the information via email when I'm sending the video link. If you're interested, you will respond to that email, and then we'll see how to go about that. It will be at the end of these 5 webinars. We'll have like 3 days of, I think like each day we'll have like maybe 1.5 hours of just going deep and giving you different skills and ways that you can actually influence the different layers of people, the peers, people above, and people below. So just an announcement. Jose, I'm handing over to you to close us out. We're 1 minute over. Sorry about that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Like we were saying, we treasure every one of you. Please make sure you do this again with us. But like Coach said, this is not just information. These are things some of us have lived, some of us have used, and we are sure that when you use them, we are here to really see you grow. We're here a couple of months down the road to see that so and so was in the webinar, they have now been appointed here. So and so they are now running with their company. That is our intention, to see you grow, because we know each of you has greatness in the inside of you. So we're here to just try and unlock that greatness. I'll hand over to Dina because she has something very quickly to say. Okay, she was saying goodbye. All right. I think there's a question there, and the response is it's online. I see it will be online, but we'll be glad to have you there with us tomorrow. Next Tuesday is the last session of this webinar, and then we'll do the masterclass. I can assure you would really want to be in the masterclass. So set your mind ready, and otherwise, see you again next Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. May you receive all the blessings that you should. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.